Fascist ideology began with the presumption that the state was a supreme entity to which all other priorities are subordinate, and all concerns other than the state were secondary, such as individual liberties or democratic freedoms. The state was embodied by a single charismatic leader who had the vision and the hard will to lead the nation to a mythical rebirth or a false new beginning. Fascist political ideology was anti-democratic and anti-parliamentary, insisting upon one ruling party with no political opposition. Fascism was also characterized in this period by the militarization of politics, political suppression, and the complete control over commerce and industry. Internal order was maintained by private armies and even parliamentary units, who often used violence to eliminate resistance. Fascist leaders usually appeared in military uniforms and orchestrated political functions in regimented and ritual fashion. Violence was commonly celebrated, as fascist leaders believed that a nation could only rise out of the process of struggle. Fascists incorporated a widely accepted concept of social Darwinism into their political thinking, which justified their sometimes violent struggle as an act of the survival of the fittest. Fascist movements were universally enemies of the Marxist ideology of socialism or communism. Ironically, fascism had more in common with communism than it did with democracy. While fascists rigorously preserved the private ownership of the means of production, they asserted power and direction over private enterprise and matters that affected the state. Industries within fascist control were typically nationalized, meaning the government had complete control over it. Fascist movements also typically established a cooperative organization to regulate the economy. Corporations were generally comprised of managers. Sorry. Corporations were generally compromised. Sorry. Corporations were generally comprised of managers, technicians, labor representatives, and government representatives. However, corporations most often became mere instruments of the state economic policy.